Hello again YouTube, it's Darthsteve333 here again with another pickups video, part 2 if you like, of the last few weeks. You might have seen my earlier video in which I covered some pickups from my holidays and just before, and also a quick visit to Revival. Obviously this is stuff picked up since then, so about a week and a half. Covering essentially a couple of charity shop pickups and car boot at the weekend. So right, where to begin? Probably odds and sods again, so just trying to work out where to start. Right, I think this from the little tiny rubbish car boot nearby. It's a wired afterglow, I think, controller for the 360. I have one official wired controller, but I believe these are meant to be very good, and this was £1, so I thought, okay, there's no time like the present, I'll pick this up, see what I think. It feels pretty sturdy, so yeah, I should be giving that a play either on the 360 or on the PC, so not bad for £1. So right, where next? That was about it really, from the rubbish car boot, literally just that one thing. So next I'll show you something from a couple of days or so ago. I went to the recycle centre, found 3 PC games and some Wii games. Got the Battle for Middle-earth 1, Knights of the Old Republic, which is one of those games that I just can't avoid getting. Doom 3, which I do already have, but this is, as you can see, really mint condition. And I think I'll probably be losing, because these are all £1 each, probably be losing 20p in value when I trade my old version in. But I mean, this is, you know, it's like you bought it yesterday, and the game is probably 10 years old now. So yeah, very pleased to get that. That was £1. And then the Wii games, in varying condition. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I think that's probably the best condition of the lot. Disc is fairly shabby, that will need some cleaning. It's got the manual, case and so forth. Super Mario Galaxy 2, with Super Mario Galaxy 1 manual in there. The rest of the bump, I think, yes, the disc on this one isn't quite so bad. I think a clean will do that a lot of good. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Again, got the manual. I think this might even have the, oh no, thought it might have had the Nintendo, Club Nintendo points in there. It hasn't, but yes, disc on that one isn't too bad either. And the last one is Mario Kart Wii. This one doesn't have a manual, and yeah, the disc, it's fair to say, has seen better days, but again I think a bit of a clean, that'll be fine. So they were all £1 each. Can't remember where I got this from. I think this was from a recycle centre purchase. Sims 2 Deluxe. Again, Sims games, I'll pick them up because they trade in and I can get CX credit, and now that they've started doing retro games, or more retro games, then it's a bit of a no-brainer. Hence why I got another copy of The Sims 3 as well. This is the version that isn't the Origin version, so that is tradable. What next? This was a charity shop purchase. This was £2, which I couldn't quite believe. Got it already on PS3 and PS4, but The Last of Us for £2. I think they trade in about £5 or £6, but pretty cool. What next? 3 charity shop buys from today. This one I picked up just because I'd never seen it before. Frank Herbert's Dune. It's by Cryo, which means it might be okay. think they've made some good games in the past. It looks early PS2. Let's see, 2001. So yeah, sort of. Everyone's got sort of very shiny faces. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, never seen it before, so thought I'd get that. I have seen this one before and nearly bought it a couple of times. And this is because it's by Rebellion, developer I like. I think they do the Sniper Elite series these days, but I think they did the first Alien vs Predator, which I thought was a cracking game. So anyway, it's Gunfighter 2: Revenge of Jesse James. Might be absolute crap, but 99p, I'm picking it up. And probably the excuse me, the pick of the bunch, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which I do already have. But apart from the bloody pre-owned sticker on it, it's better nicked than the one I've got, and that disc is lovely. So that will upgrade my existing copy. I think the Xbox version is more sought after than the PS2, but I'm happy enough to get that. So right, I think on to the car boot. Can't quite think where to begin. I think this was the first thing I found, which was £1 Forza Horizon for the 360. Again, I'm going to be trading that in because I do already have it. Good game, but again, that can go towards CX credit. What next? Oh yeah, another odd one. Before the car boot, before I went to the car boot, I found this at a CEX, hence me wanting to build up my credit. And this was Sega 90 minutes. Sega Championship Football 90 minutes. Not quite sure which way around you say that, but that's another one off my Dreamcast list. So I think it's a bit highly priced. I don't think it's the most common of the games out there, but I do think £10 it was a bit much. But as you can see, it's got all the bump and paraphernalia. The case seems to be on one piece, and obviously there's the disc. So I wasn't going to grumble. Effectively, with trades and stuff, that has cost me less than £10, so happy. Right, so on to the car boot then. Flight Simulator 10 Deluxe Edition, £2. Again, it's one that I've already got. It's got the manual in there, but it's got the key code on there, so I won't show you that. But suffice it to say, it's got all what's needed in there. This I found loose. It looks in pretty naff nick. It's WrestleMania the arcade game. I bought this essentially because the disc is in very nice condition. There's a couple of minor marks, but I'm fairly certain that is in better nick than the one I picked up a few months ago. So I'll probably trade that up, as it were. Obviously, swap out the existing disc for that one. A couple of miscellaneous bits. A slightly battered copy of Resident Evil Revelations for the 3DS. This cost me £2. I think it's been kept somewhere, or been put down somewhere damp. You can see the manual's a bit crinkly and got some little dots on it. But that's one to trade in because I do have this as well. That was £2, I think. Copy of Nintendogs again, make no bones, this is for trading. It hasn't got the manual, it has got the points oddly, and obviously the card. Another miscellaneous one, Professor Layton and the Lost Future. I can't remember if I've actually got this one, so if I haven't, I'll keep it. If I have, I'll trade it. I think that was £2 or £1 as well. What now? These. Got these two PC games, plus one film, which was something called Kill List, which is a British film about a hitman, I believe. I haven't watched it yet, but one of my mates, oddly enough, had been talking about it 2 nights previous and said it was a cracking film, so saw it and saw these two games and I thought, for £1 I can't grumble. So it's Demigod, which always intrigued me at the time. It's like I think it's like a real-time strategy, but a mixture of action as well. So I don't think it needs a Steam code either, so I'll be installing that, give that a go. and Resident Evil 4, which I do have already, but I don't have the manual. So this one does. So again, 33 1/3 pence. I'm not going to turn that down. And like I say, I've got that film called Kill List, which, like I say, is supposed to be pretty good. This is a sealed copy of IL-2 Sturmovik 1946. As you can see, it's never been opened. Still got the game, presumably, yeah, it is game security tag on it. God knows why people buy games and then just leave them sealed like that. Maybe it was an unwanted present, but I've got earlier games in that series, so I think this cost me 50p or £1 from somewhere. Can't say for certain, but that will be getting opened and it will be getting played. So right, on to this next, I think. One of these stalls from the car boot where there was a load of stuff strewn about the place, and I sort of looked down and I saw that, and I had a little look at it. It's nothing in there other than a strap. I thought it was a nice natty little case, and I haven't seen the old style Game Boy Advance cases like this. So I sort of said to him, I said, "Oh, how much is this, mate?" Because I thought if it's a 50p or £1, I'll probably get that. And he says, "Oh, I've got a few games. I don't have the system anymore. I don't know what happened to the system." He says, "Are you interested?" So I says, "Yeah." He pulls out this other bag, Case Logic bag. So I open it up, and he says it's got the charger in there. So it's obviously got one of these battery pack things. Don't know if it works or not yet. And I presume it doesn't, because looking at this, it looks like it's lost the connector off the end, so that might be going in the bin. But yeah, I wasn't so fussed about that, because the rest of the things in here, bit of a mixture. But he sort of said to me, he says, "If you're interested, you can have the lot for £2." So I was interested, so I had the lot for £2. So there's a number of games in here. A Bug's Life, 102 Dalmatians in a nice little case. What's next? Rugrats the movie, which I do think I've already got. Pokemon Pinball, Ms. Pac-Man Special Colour Edition, and 2 curiosities, 2 hockey game cards, new J32 in one, amongst various things. I think they're fairly similar actually, what they contain. I mean, this has got stuff like, it's got Metroid on it, Tetris, as if you wouldn't have a copy of that already, and then some other ones which I don't really recognise: Alleyway, Bubble Ghost, Pipe Dream, Snoopy, starring Goemon, Chase Tasmania. A lot of the later ones I have no idea. Got one there called Darkman, which may be based on the film. The other one, as you can see, it's got at the top, prominently featured, Pokemon Red, Yellow and Blue, and other games that are shown on there: WrestleMania 2000, Looney Tunes, Pac-Man, Frogger, Centipede, Toy Story 2, another Looney Tunes game with Bugs Bunny in, I think, Carrot Crazy, and Ants. But there's others on there as well, and had a quick flick through, so I thought for £2 that was a bit of a bargain. And obviously 2 cases as well. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That sort of goes rather nicely with another pickup which I'll come to. It seemed to be a day for finding handheld stuff, or at least sort of edging towards that way. So before we get to that, I will show you this. These are all PS1 games. I asked how much they were and he said 20p each. So some of them I haven't got, some of them are undoubtedly improvements on ones I do have. So I've got Dead or Alive, WWF Warzone, WWF SmackDown, SmackDown 2, WCW Mayhem, WCW NWO Thunder. As you can see, a lot of wrestling games, some of which I've got and some of which I don't. So I think the SmackDown games I've got, but they're in pretty sort of knackered up condition, so they are upgrades. And the rest of these, I've got 2 of them but not the other 3. So the 2 I already have: Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere. I like the old Ace Combat stroke Air Combat series. And this one, which I spent an absolute age on back in the day, which is Formula 1 97, in my view, the best PS1 Formula 1 game. So I just wasted so many hours on this. You know, run full races and so on, only to break down or have a crash on the last lap. But it was, I thought it was awesome. It got Murray Walker's voice in it, so yeah, that's in even better nick than my existing copy. All of these are absolutely flawless, brilliant condition. Excuse me. Last 3 games then. Again, like I say, I haven't got these. I've got Adidas Power Soccer 97, but not 98. Not the best game. I think I played certainly the first one, and it was a bit ropey, to be honest. But didn't play 98 definitely. So yeah, I'll give that a punt. This one, Michelin Rally Masters Race of Champions. Can't ever recall seeing that back in the day. Probable contender for the Colin McRae crown. Made by Infogrames and Digital Illusions. So they are the guys that used to make the pinball games, and then obviously these days make the Battlefield series. So you'd expect it to be quite good, I'd have thought. So that's one to have a go at. And this one, which I think is one of the last Ocean games that I can remember seeing published, or certainly from around that time, and it's Lucky Luke, which I think is quite hard to find. I don't think it's particularly valuable, but I can't recall seeing this since back in the PS1 heyday. So again, just giving you an example. Lovely manual, case is in nice nick, and disc is brilliant. Couldn't grumble for 20p a go. So 11 games there, and cost me £2.20. I wasn't going to try and barter him on that. I thought that was a very good deal. To sort of follow up on that, a few stalls later I found yet another wrestling game. I think I must have them all now, or close to. This is WCW Backstage Assault. Again, it's pretty decent nick. The manual's a little bit more worn, the case is a little bit more battered, and the disc is a little bit more scratched, but I know I haven't got that one, so now I have. And I think that one cost me 50p, so an expensive game compared to the others, but a price I'm still happy to pay. So what to show you next? There was a reseller there, but a fairly decent bloke, and not charging the earth, not the cheapest in the world either, but I was happy enough, and I sort of saw him setting up quite early and decided to go away and sort of come back once he'd all set up. And I wish I hadn't, really, because in chatting to him I sort of found out that he'd got several NES games there, for example, like Castlevania, which oddly enough I'd actually played for the first time ever on the NES at Revival and really enjoyed it. And I thought, if I see that out and about, I'm definitely getting a copy, as long as it's not too expensive. Anyway, he had a copy, and I think he said he sold it to other traders who by that point, you know, three or 4 hours into the boot, probably had them all up on eBay for 3 times the price already. But besides the point, he'd have sold it for 20 quid and I'd have snatched it out of his hands, to be honest. But it was not to be. But I did find a couple of other things which I was happy enough with. It's just a shame I didn't sort of perhaps loiter or ask him if he got specific games, or, you know, sort of say, oh, what have you got for this system, because I might have been a bit more lucky. Anyway, the things I did get off him, a I've got a copy of, quite topical actually, Pokemon Sapphire. I say quite topical because I've been playing the arse off Pokemon Go at the moment. I wasn't really going to give it a go, but we're on holiday and my wife said, oh, I've downloaded it, and she seemed to be enjoying it. So I installed it, and yeah, now I'm walking around with my phone in front of my face every waking moment, it seems. It's quite good fun. Next game I got, oh yeah, Pokemon Sapphire cost me £8 I think. I've got Castlevania Adventure for the Game Boy. That was, I think that was a tenner. Was it? No, that was £8 and Pokemon was a tenner. And another one off the Dreamcast collection, which is Urban Chaos. Now this one has got a bit of a battered case, but I'm going to swap that out with an existing spare. So that'll be pretty decent. So that is another one off the list. How much did you charge me for that? I think that was £7 or something. So obviously a bit more than whoever got it for previously, £5.99. But I'm happy enough with that. I haven't seen that so often recently. So on to the last couple of things. What shall I show you first? This. Mooching round, and oddly enough I saw two different stalls selling handheld games like remember Scramble, Astro Wars, that sort of thing. Well, they got Galaxy Invader, and I've actually got the follow-up to that, which was Galaxy Invader 1000, which is the yellow one. But this was the one that preceded it. It was like a grey one with a big red fire button. And the first guy I saw, I sort of picked it up, turned it on, it got batteries in, give it a quick go, and he was a typical sort of buys to sell type chap. I don't think he had any real interest in the machine. He went, oh, that's £20, lowest I'll go on that, lowest I'll go. They're more than that, they're £40 on eBay. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, I'll have a think about it. And I thought, as much as I'd like it, I'm not paying £20 for it. So I mooched off. Anyway, surprise, surprise, probably a good hour and a half later, I saw another stall with exactly the same game on. Not that precise one, but the same game. Galaxy Invader, plus Firefox FX7 with the battery compartment cover missing. A little handheld Space Invaders type thing, about that big. Can't remember who made it. And the next thing, which I'll show you in a minute. And I inquired about this thing, and he said, "Oh, I could let you have that for £7. I've just been playing it." Anyway, he says, "Have a go." So turned it on, nothing happening. So I says, "Oh, it doesn't seem to be working." So we had a chat about them, obviously, while he was having a fiddle about. He says, "Oh, I can't believe it," and he said to his mate, I was on the store with him, I said, "I'm just bloody playing this 5 minutes ago." So he took the battery compartment off, or cover off, and had a tinker with the batteries, and he says, "Oh, I can get the lights working, but it don't seem to be working at all." I says, "Oh, that's a shame." I didn't, weren't haggling or anything, and he sort of says, "I tell you what," he says, "it annoyed me, but if you fancy a project, you can have it for £2." So, just like that, off his own back, he just knocked £5 off it, and I thought, I can't resist. And it is the Tomitronic 3D Thundering Turbos. So I got it home, put some brand new Duracells in it, had a little sort of tinker, and whilst I think the buttons could do with a bit of work, I think they're probably a little worn. I'll probably take it to bits and gingerly have a look at the connections, maybe give it a clean inside. Obviously you can see it's gone a bit yellow, so I might try and retro-write it, but it works. Flawless. So it felt a bit of a shame actually, because the guy I was speaking to, I mean, you could tell he sort of bought these with the intention of either trying to get them to work or having them himself, and for whatever reason he was moving this on. So yeah, off his own back he knocked a £5 off that, so £2 for that is an absolute bargain, so I'm very happy to get that. It leads me to the last thing from the boot, which basically I saw from a distance and mooched over, and literally if I'd have been 20 seconds longer, it wouldn't have been there anymore. In fact, I was actually just handing over the cash for it, and someone came and picked it up, and I said, "I'm sorry mate, I've just bought it." And it is a boxed original Game Boy. It's got most of the kit in there from when it was new. It's obviously missing the headphones, which I'm not too disappointed about, but as you can see, it's got most of the bump in here, instruction manuals and such. It's got Tetris, it's got the link cable. The only thing it's missing is the batteries and the earphones. As you can see, it's in nice nick. It's got the battery compartment cover, obviously the egg carton insert. Outer box is a little battered, but I'm not too fussed. It also came with one of these mains adapters for it. Oh yeah, I'll show you this. I thought this was nice. A little promotional Game Boy poster. Obviously Tetris instructions, a little bit of polystyrene there. I'm not sure if that actually came with that or not. I can't remember from my original one. It also gave me a copy of Top Ranking Tennis and the instructions. And that was 20 quid, which, like I say, I might have overpaid on it, but I rarely see Game Boy these days, especially boxed. So that was why I was saying it sort of felt a bit like a handheld day. Excuse me. But yeah, I was pleased to get that, and a nice condition model as well. So that will be a keeper. So that was everything from the car boot. The only thing that remains now, sorry, very dry, speaking all day at work, is something I got off Facebook group, and it arrived, well, the card came through the letterbox yesterday, and essentially I had to wait till this morning to go and pick it up, so I did on the way to work. And so I'm actually doing my first ever live unboxing. So I've just been doing that off camera. There's all the packing material. So it's been packed rather nicely. So it's more Dreamcast games. So NFL Quarterback 2000, or Quarterback Club 2000, and very nice. Oh yeah, a bit of a Dreamcast case malfunction, but otherwise pretty decent. Let's have a look at the disc. Disc is mint. So yeah, scratch another one off the Dreamcast list. Next is, well, next is the one that I was leaving till last. Next is Sega Worldwide Soccer 2000. I have Euro edition, but not this one. Again, very nice. Bit of a yellow mark in there, so it might have got a bit damp at some point, but that ain't going to bother me. A little tiny stain. Again, the disc has got the very most minor of little scuffs on there, but that will play no problem. And the one that I've been most looking forward to receiving is one that I've missed out on about 3 or 4 times. I saw it while I was away somewhere, didn't get it. I've missed out on bids on eBay and so forth, and it is Lodos Record of War. Record of Lodos War. Very strange name, but yeah, I'm very pleased to get that. And those 3 cost me £27 delivered. And again, the disc is minty, as is the manual, so I should be giving them a little go later. So that is me up to date, I think. So yeah, that is the last 2-3 weeks or so, including my holidays and so on, and obviously more recently the car boot. Probably won't be hitting the car boot this weekend, or if I do, it'll be a local one, just because we're travelling a long way on Saturday to go to a wedding. So yeah, I think I'm just gabbling now. So I think all that remains for me to say is I noticed I've had a couple more subscribers since I last put a video up. So thanks for the subscriptions, and thanks to all my existing subscribers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I imagine whoever it is that keeps putting one single thumbs down on the video, they'll do the same again, so keep it up. I don't know why, you know, if you're going to put it thumbs down, tell us why. I can work on it then. Anyway, I ain't going to get vexed. That is about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully get another video quite soon. Cheers, bye.